I want to take a moment to embarrass someone and just point out that my 18-year-old son is in the room, finding out for the first time what it is his mother obsesses about each week she has a show. Welcome to the Q&A Cafe. I'd like to start by thanking our sponsors, Georgetown Cupcake, the Amano Shop, and Nancy Taylor Bubis Charitable Trust. And I would especially like to thank our guest, Oliver Stone. This is the end of our season for us, Oliver. You did the same thing for Bill Maher. I'm hoping this goes a little more fun for you. It didn't look like you were having as much fun on Bill's show. But
no, I'm looking forward to it. Nice to be here, Carol. I hear good things about it.
Well, yeah, talking to us further. I know. I told you
You said it's
Oliver, we are low budget. You thought your documentary was maybe on a shoestring, but this is true low budget TV. But welcome to it.
Do you want me to hold it in front of my face?
If you want to be heard. Well, no, not in front of your face.
Like this?
In fact, I wanted to say, not to go down on my knees or anything, but I consider you a good-looking man and have for a long time. And I'm just wondering what the thing is with the mustache. For me, it's kind of Zorro, Clark Gable, but was it to be a companion to South of the Border?
I'm
going to direct you if you don't mind.
What about George Clooney? Give that a shot, too.
Well, I may not consider him a good-looking man.
My mom's favorite actor was Gable, so
yeah.
and my mom likes it. So that she's 80-some years old, and she approved it and loves it actually. So I can't take it off now.
No, you can't. When did you do it?
A few months ago. You get tired.
For Cannes, it was
to change the feel. Sometimes it's philosophical. The changes. You just feel like you want to be able to. Actors change far more than directors. Yeah, I don't know if you see actors change from movie to movie. I see actors that I work with. I don't recognize them. They cut their hair, they completely go another way. So it's good for a director to, it's the same thing with documentaries. You make a feature, you spend a year with costumes and sets and actors, and then you can go out to Mexico or Salvador or South America and just see real people and relate to them very directly, quickly, and make a documentary like you do with me right now.
Yes, and I just want you to know, as we talk,
humble.
That here on your camera is Oscar, who is from Venezuela. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
So he's.
You got a job.
Yeah. Very happily, too. You know how to pick a week to be in Washington, don't you? I mean, because I was reading some of the threads about General McChrystal getting fired, and one of the threads said, "This is out of an Oliver Stone movie." And I thought, I wonder if this is how Oliver would let it play out. How would you have staged yesterday any differently if it was in an Oliver Stone movie?
Staged.
Staged it. Well, that is what you do when you're not doing a documentary, right?
Every time I've come to Washington since 1965, off and on, and every time I'm in this town, there's a crisis. Every time. So,
You think it's you?
I don't buy that this is the biggest week. I mean, this is the mentality.
I didn't say it was the biggest week, but it's an interesting week.
The problem in Washington is you live in the moment, and like everybody else, we all get blinded by the tyranny of this now.
Yeah.
And everybody reacts, and then I think there's a bigger pattern going on, and I think it's a great drama, soap opera. He gets fired. He's the trained Doberman. He's a great killer, and he gets replaced by. It's amazing. He got replaced by his commander stepping down.
Yeah.
It's like, that's weird. It
well,
shows
you know
how
what the
incompetent
conspiracy is of the right? The conspiracy theory of the right is that Obama put Petraeus in McChrystal's position to take Petraeus out of the 2012 election.
Well, I thought McChrystal was going to run.
That may be what happens now.
No, it's really sad that we don't trust. The military is based on trust. I was in the military.
I know.
And
Decorated.
If you don't have enough generals to run, so you don't ask a senior guy to come, like asking Eisenhower, hey, you go and run D-Day, you come down to become a division commander. You don't do that. You have the boss, he's the boss. And so this is something's really wrong with the system. And by the way, we're losing, no matter what he is. I don't agree with the war at all. I think it's a disaster. Right. It's a dead end, and it was Vietnam all over again, plus Iraq 3. But given that, though, he was one of the better elements because he really was trying to not damage civilian populations. And that was his goal. That was the reason he got that Marja thing And the whole thing with Kandahar, he says, let's not kill civilians. And that's the key element. We don't want a war on civilians. We keep doing that, and everywhere we go, South America, Central America,
but he's
Asia.
not done. He's not done. He's not done. He's not Helen Thomas. I mean, McChrystal...
I thought he resigned.
Entirely from the military? He resigned his command.
Oh, I see.
So,
well, he'll find some other battlefield.
But given your military background, do you recognize the U.S. military of today in comparison to the U.S. military of when you served?
Yeah, it's the same element. I mean, philosophically, it's the can-do element, which is, I'm not talking about the draftees in Vietnam like I was, but I'm talking about the officer corps. You can't make it up, the officer corps, that tree, without saying can do, can do.
Can do, yes.
So no matter what, you have an obstacle, I can go to Afghanistan, I can beat those odds. That's their nature, but the politicians, supposedly wise men of our culture, should see beyond that ruse and say, you may think you can do, but there are other considerations.
How does a general who's so highly trained make the mistake of blabbing like he did to a reporter?
Well, I think he was gay and probably in bed with his lover. No, I think there was a...
No, let's leave it there. No. You think that?
Hey,
you think it just came down to gay sex?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know. I didn't follow the details like you did. But sounds like another TV movie, no?
In fact, you probably haven't been able to follow much of anything the past 24 hours because you've been in Washington in constant motion. And by my estimation, you've been in constant motion since Cannes.
Yeah,
it doesn't, because you went from Cannes to back to South America, right?
Yeah, South America, Cochabamba, Bolivia. We had 6,000 people for the screening, 3,000 in Caracas and 2,000 in Ecuador. It was quite something.
So you've been going nonstop.
Yeah.
So do you want to take a breath now? Yes, Oliver, let it all out.
How are you?
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
How's your son doing? How old is he? 19, he looks?
He's 18 and a half. Don't move along too fast. You've got a son, you know. How old is your son?
I have two. 25 and 18.
But Sean is the only actor, right?
He's not an actor. He's a filmmaker.
He's a filmmaker
who I put him in a few films.
Occasionally appears in, first was Born on the 4th of July, though, right?
That's right. He's a good-looking kid. Doors, actually. He's good-looking. He's taller than me. Doors. He does in Doors. Yeah. He was in
Doors also. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But he's been in other films as well. And you're in most of your films.
No, I'm not. I occasionally appear.
What is it? Was Any Given Sunday the most of you? Do you think?
Yeah.
Did you just want to be a sportscaster really badly?
No, I fired.
Fired the actor.
Bill Murray's brother. I forgot his name. He's on TV a lot. But
Brian Doyle Murray.
No, he was in JFK. The other one, the brother of somebody else, Tom Arnold's brother.
Tom Arnold's brother, who I can't pull up. I'm sorry. You stumped me.
I fired him because he was not doing a great job, so I said I got to replace him quick.
You look like you enjoyed it.
I did. I like football.
But being here in Washington, you've been dealing with the media kind of nonstop since you've been here, and I thought it was very interesting, given your attitude toward basically the Washington media and south of the border, that you would come here to the...
well, that's his fault. He made me come. My producer said, we got to go face the dragon in the gladiator pit. So here we are.
You're here. And have you been into the IMF?
No, the IMF is dead in South America. You know that. They had $20 billion in loans.
But I just thought it was interesting that you come here to Washington with the media that you have.
I did a right-wing radio show this morning, Amy Holmes. The first question was, Oliver, I loved your movie.
Apparently she's been wound up ever since.
I loved your movie, but how can you support a dictator who closes down the media? That was the first question. She loved the movie, but okay.
You know, there's some debate that the media in Washington have pretty much had their cut, and that it's got to reshape in some form. You know, but
you're outspoken.
Do you sense that? Do you feel that?
Listen, I always root for investigative, serious journalists. I'd like them to really take a harder look.
How many are left?
I don't know. I don't count them, but they come up. There's a whole younger generation that's good. They're out there on the internet. They're trying. It's hard to get the truth because you have to have access to power to get some of the inside stuff. But sometimes access to power switches on you. You get access to power and you get their story. All this embedding journalists in Iraq and in Afghanistan is sick.
Is it even journalism?
It's not journalism. It's army. It's pro-military patriotism is what it is. Wow. At the end of the day, they end up writing about you know, all this Iraq war, all this Afghani war, all these movies, it's about American soldiers and America this, America that. You don't even see an Iraqi, you don't see an Afghani in these movies. You don't get a sense of the overall picture of what it's like from their side when they see American soldiers.